Hi, this is Vicki Shoemaker. I'm the Executive Director of Learning Home Volunteers, and I want to welcome you to another of our parent education series entitled Baby Sign. Your baby has a lot to say. We are a nonprofit organization that works with low income parents to improve educational outcomes for their children by helping the parents ensure that their children will be kindergarten ready. Did you know that 70% of low income children enter kindergarten 18 to 24 months behind? It's no wonder that kindergarten readiness is the number one indicator of future academic success. We know through the work that our parents that they are the most powerful agent in their child's life and education. And we have seen the changes parents can make when they harness their love for their child and combine it with resolute effort in the impact in our program. Our past cohorts of families and their children have been successful at ensuring their child is ready to be successful for school, and that changes their child's life forever. So, in our parent education series, we wanted to feature ideas and people who empower parents because we believe that every child's educational journey starts with parents and the caring adults in their life. And the key to that journey is language, which is why we chose Bill White to be our speaker for this meeting. Like us, he works with parents and caregivers to make a difference in their life. We are excited to introduce Bill White, the author of the internationally best-selling book, Signs of a Happy Baby. Bill?
Hi, you guys. My name is Bill White, and as I set up my slideshow here, I want to tell you a little bit about how we want to do this sign language thing. Now, this is going to be interactive. You're going to be signing with me, okay? So let's get this set up here. Beautiful. Okay. Now, the best thing, you got to be able to see me. So the best way to format your monitor is to pin me. And the way to do that, to make me nice and big, we've got our slideshow over here. But if you go over my window and click, your mouse will have a little icon that pops up. There's three little icons. The one on the left looks like a little thumbtack. You probably already know how to do this. But if you click that thumbtack, all of a sudden I'm pinned. So I'm big. And you want to be able to see me. Now, I teach my sign language classes the same way I teach my dance classes. I'm a dancer, 30 years of dance training, ballet, jazz, tap. And if you're not dancing in my dance class, you're not learning dancing, okay? So this is, and books are great. YouTube, people say, I'm going to learn off of YouTube. But what you don't get from YouTube and books and things like this is interactivity. So I want you to sign. When I sign, like jumping, the legs go up and down like this, I want you to do it too, okay? So do it with me. I had never heard about signing with babies until my first son was born, Liam. And when he was about 10 and a half months old, somebody said, you should sign with him. And I thought, well, let's research this a little bit. And I thought, okay, let's give it a try. Now, I've always been interested in signing because it's like dancing with words. So I didn't just sign milk and more. By the way, do not teach your baby to sign for more. I'm going to give a moment for your jaw to drop because people are going, I already taught my baby how to sign more. So many people say we sign with our baby, we did milk. And I'll go, oh, great, that's fantastic. And is that the only sign you gave them? One word to navigate the world? That's like saying we taught them Spanish. And every day we came home and said, hola. And that's the only word you give them. Oh, we also signed more. And he used that for everything. We had no idea what he wanted, but he just got more and more frustrated. So I'll let you sign more with your child if you promise me to teach them about 20, 30, 40 nouns. Okay, deal? Okay. So with Liam, we didn't start with him till he was about 10 and a half months old. And at 12 months, his first sign came out. It was hat and fish on the same day. Because at 12 months old, they'll sign right back to you. And at 15 months old, he had 40 signs. Signs are words. People say, what's he signing? I said, he wants to go outside. Oh, there's more. He wants to go outside and play on the truck. Oh, wait, there's more. He wants to play on the white truck. And I said, the red truck? And he shook his head no. Everybody sign red. Take your finger. It's the color of your lips. Red. Good. That's the sign for red. This is not rocket science. This is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay? So when you have a question, you guys, go down to the bottom of your screen, click the little icon that says, looks like a hand, and raise your hand. And Vicky's going to field the questions for me. Okay? And we're going to have questions and answers at the end of the class as well. Okay.
Yeah, but feel free to interrupt if you have a question that's right then. Always good to nip it in the bud right then and there.
All right. Well, let's get this party started. This is the sign for anticipation. This is going to be so fun. So today, now I can't teach you sign language in one 40-minute, 1-hour class. I can get you fired up. I'm going to teach you about 20 basic signs. And then about a week from now, you'll forget all of them except milk and more. Oh, we also do all done. Good. You give them 3 words. I want to give your kids more than 3 words. All right. So today we're going to talk about the benefits of signing with your baby. I'm going to talk about the 40 years of evidence-based research behind why signing is so great for babies, because people are going to challenge you. They're going to say, why are you going to teach them how to sign? They'll never talk. I had a mom driving to one of my classes at Blossom Birth and Family in Palo Alto. I teach locally here in San Francisco, and I've been teaching online for about 7 years. Saturday morning classes, Tuesday evenings after the kids are asleep. And this woman was driving up El Camino. That's the main drag in my town. And grandma's in the car with her. And she's driving down the street, and grandma's going, why'd you teach the twins how to sign? And she's looking in the back seat, and these twins are signing to each other. And grandma says, 30 years of evidence-based research, this is about 10 years ago, shows that signing with babies accelerates their verbal acquisition, Mom. And she's driving the car. This is the sign for car, by the way. She's driving the car, and grandma's looking in the back saying, what are they signing? And she looked in the back, and she goes, oh, Grandma, they're signing Starbucks over there. And grandma says, no, really, what are they signing? And the one child, everybody take your middle fingers and flick them at each other. One baby was going like this and pointing out the window. That's the sign for Starbucks over there. I'm serious. It's so great. And her sister signed this back. She looked out the window, watched Starbucks go by, and then said this to her sister. That's a conversation. It will blow you away of what they have to say if you just give your child a voice. They are so aware, but we don't know how brilliant they are if they can't talk to us. And they don't speak verbally till they're about 2 years old. They can walk at around 1, they can talk around 2, but 2 years is like 20 years to this little baby that has so much to say. All right. So I'm going to teach you how to sign with your baby. We're going to learn about 20 basic signs today, but that's barely scratching the surface of what your child is capable of signing. The kids that were in the back seat signing Starbucks over there, and her sister raised her hand with a letter G and wiggled it, which means green, because the logo is green. Okay. Those kids were signing 150 signs at 15 months old. All right. And we're also going to sing some songs and sign them. I'll teach you how to sign. Singing is really fun with your child. All righty. So what's the best age to teach your child how to sign? I say start as soon as you can. I know people say, I read on the internet that they can't sign till they're like 8 months old. They don't have the gross motor skills of signing till they're 8, 9, 10 years old, 10 months old. And I say, yeah, I know that, but I want you to start earlier. Just because they can't sign doesn't mean they're not listening. Humans learn language by listening with their ears and their eyes. Babies, human babies, when they're born, they have neurons called mirror neurons, brain cells. They're programmed to mirror you. So when you speak Spanish, they speak Spanish. When you sign, they sign. Babies pick up Spanish, German, language fast. Sign language like that. Sleep-deprived parents are a little bit slower, and that's where I come in to keep it fun with silly stories and jokes to have you come into classes and start learning bedtime signs, bath time signs, feeling signs. Every day is a different day, different theme. So what we're going to do today is just go over a little of this and that to get you started. So,
Before we start signing too much, if you guys turn on your cameras, we can actually see you guys sign with us. And then that way we can all sign together.
mhm. Now in my classes, like on Tuesday nights, if you're signing jumping like this, I'll say, hold on there, Danielle, the ground does not move all over the place. The ground is down here. It goes up and down like this. Is it okay to do it this way? Well, you won't get much respect from the deaf community, but also your baby will do this with their limited motor skills, and you'll think they're clapping or signing more. Okay, so have the ground down here. It does not move. Which hand do you use? Your dominant hand is the moving hand. Jumping, 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 dancing. And I bend my knees at the top and come back down. We're going to use this in a song coming up pretty soon. All right, so jumping. Good.
Oh, you guys are all doing great.
Excellent. This is like a dance class. All right, good deal. So what's the best age to start? Start early for two big reasons. Number one, the younger the baby is, the better you can pay attention in my classes. All right. If you've got a little 3-week-old or a 3-month-old in a sling, I've got your undivided attention. If you've got a 12-month-old, they're running around and they're all over the place. So I've only got half your attention. When they're young, they're in a sling, they're more of a fashion accessory than a distraction. I do not teach babies sign language. I teach American Sign Language in a fun, interactive way to sleep-deprived parents like you and me. So if you have questions, stop us and say, how do you do this and that? Okay, so remember the sign for jumping? So start as early as you can. That's the first reason. The second reason is because a lot of people say, oh, we're going to wait till they're like 8, 9, 10 months old, because I read that on the internet. And you forget, paternity leaves over, maternity leaves over. You're back to work and you don't have the bandwidth, the energy, the strength to do a Saturday morning class. And if you're expecting, it's okay to start. So when the baby is 8, 9 months old, you've got a vocabulary of like 200-300 signs. How cool is that? That you've been using. And the baby's been listening to them with their ears and their eyes. Humans.
So we have a
learn
question.
Yeah, what's that?
Is it too late to start? Like if they're already 8 months, 10 months old?
Oh, no. In fact, if you start, like I didn't start signing with Liam till he was 10 and a half months old. And at 15 months old, he had 40 signs.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's okay to sign later. In fact, when you start with a baby that's 12, 13, 14 months old, you'll probably see the signs come back to you that week, if not that day. If you've got a 3-month-old, here's the only caveat. If you start with a 3-month-old or younger, and so many people say we did it for about 3 or 4 or 5 months and it didn't work, so we stopped doing it. They don't start signing back to you. Okay, so let's get to the next question. Good question, by the way, and by the way, start now, okay? You're going to start now? Great.
Yeah.
When will your baby sign back to you? It's different. But if you stop when they're 3, 4, 5, 6 months old because it wasn't working, it's all going in. They're listening and getting stored. All those words that you're saying verbally are getting stored. The brain is just waiting for the mouth to catch up to have the fine motor skills to be able to speak verbally. They can talk at 6, 7, 8 months old. 8 months old, they can speak verbally, but it's babble. We can't understand them. They know what they're saying, but we can't understand it. It comes out like da, 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 or ba, 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 and they start to point. They don't point at 3 weeks old, but at 8, 9, 10 months old, they'll start to point because we point. Whether you take a sign language class or not, they're all going to sign. Their first sign might be this.
Yeah.
Or pick me up. Where did they pick that up? Well, that's what we do when we reach down to pick them up. Their first sign might be this. Okay, they'll start to point. Ba, ba. They can say consonants at around 5, 6, 7 months old. They can go ta, the letter T or B, ba. We've got a hint. It's over there and it starts with the letter B. But there's a lot of things over there that start with the letter B, and you start doing the guessing game. Is it the baby? Is it the bear? Is it the bottle? Is it the broccoli? Is it the brachiosaurus? What are we talking about? But if they go ba and sign this, and you got your baby going ba, 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 and they do this, instead of the stink face from daddy, they get a happy face going, Oh, you'd like your blanket. And the baby signs this back immediately.
Blankets. Blankets.
Yeah, that smile is communication. Because this baby not only knows that my daddy hears me, but my daddy understands me and values what I have to say. And that changes his self-esteem when he's 37 years old. Because what happens to a person the first 2-3 years of life has an effect on them. Am I being heard? Are people listening to me? That's the deal. Self-esteem comes from being a part of the conversation. All right. This is Finn signing potty. The letter T. Everybody take the letter T. Now, when you wag it back and forth up in the air like this, it's an extremely rude sign in Ukraine, Russia, and Indonesia. So don't do this there. But in American Sign Language, it means T for toilet. And it's elevated because 200 years ago in France, where American Sign Language came from, you had to pull the chain above your head to flush the toilet. So that's why it's elevated. If you take the letter T and drag it down your face, you're signing the color tan, like you have a tan face. If you take the letter T's and play with them down here, you're signing toys. So every day in my classes, we do something different. One day is devoted to learning your color signs. So when's your baby going to sign back to you? Oh, if you want to date, around 10 months old. Some babies, I had one mom saying, my baby's not a signing baby. He's 13 months old and he doesn't sign at all. And all my friends' babies started signing around 8, 9, 10 months old. And my baby's 13 and he's not signing. I said, keep doing it. And lo and behold, about a month later, he was the best signing baby of the group. Some babies don't speak verbally till they're 21 months old. And then about a month, and that's not clinically delayed. That's on the cusp of being clinically delayed. And then about a month later, they explode in sentences. Every child has their own agenda. Some babies roll over earlier than other babies. Some babies sit up later than other babies. Some babies potty train really early. There's some kiddos that don't walk till they're like 13, 14 months old, which is a little late. And then they turn out to be great track stars in the Olympics later on in life. Just because your baby signed a little later than other babies, just keep doing it. It's going in. Believe in it, have faith. But when you've got a 3-week-old or a 3-month-old, you're going to lose momentum and you're going to say, it's not working. It is working. Trust me. Sign as much as you can and talk to your baby. Bathe your child with words. The more words the baby hears in a day, the smarter they'll be for the rest of their life. It's all about word count. And we talk a lot about that in my program. All righty. So let's learn some basic signs, you guys. Milk. All right. Now, some people leave their thumb up and some people put their thumb down. Everybody's got their own accent. Okay. You can tell where people are from their accent. All right. Now, the baby is not going, oh, that makes sense. Milking. Daddy, this is easy. It's like milking. Your baby is not analyzing the origin of the sign or the word or the etymology of the word. They're just mirroring you. They're imitating you. You could do this every time you're breastfeeding, every time you're bringing a bottle of milk to your baby, and the baby will think that's the sign for milk. They're associating the word, whether it's signed or spoken, with what is happening at the moment. That's how they learn language. It's all about association. Okay? Milk. If you do this, the baby will do that. Don't do that. My deaf teacher would kill me. I'm just trying to make a point here. They learn sign language the same way they learn verbal language. Just keep speaking Japanese if you want them to learn Japanese. If you know a lot of Japanese, they'll speak Japanese better. If you know a lot of signs, they will sign a lot with you. Okay, so milk.
Milk.
The sign for please. You rub your heart like this. Please. If you're speaking Spanish, por favor. Okay? The sign for thank you. Thank you. It's kind of like blowing a kiss. Thank you. Little side view here. Thank you. Side view. Slow motion. Thank you. You got it? Please and thank you. You're all doing it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, the sign for more. All right, it's okay to sign more if you promise to teach them a bunch of nouns too. More. Good. Now, more is an abstract concept, so make sure you're doing something that they know what more means. Words like more or all done or outside, you got to do it when you say it. When you're signing bear, make sure there's a bear in the room. If there's no bear in the room and you're going bear and the bear goes, "Arr," do sound effects. That's the secret sauce of my class. Sound effects, I'll tell you a secret, are more important than the signs half the time, because babies can do sound effects at 9 months old. If they can do sound effects, you go boom and they'll go boom back in your face. It's really cute. If they can do sound effects, let's use that to our advantage, because they'll grab their head. What's that? I don't know. But if they go moo, you'll know it's the sign for cow.
Wow.
If they grab their head and go neigh, you'll know it's the sign for horse. If they go like this, you'll know they're not signing love, which is the sign for love. But if they go, "Arr," you'll know they're signing bear. Okay. So when you're teaching bear, make sure there's a bear in the room so they know what you're talking about. If there's no bear in the room, again, it's association. They'll go, got it, bear. You even remembered to do the sound effect. "Arr," and they're going, I know a new word. I have no idea what it means because you didn't show me the bear. Okay. So association is the key. Eat. Here's a sign for eat. And food. Basically the same, but my mouth looks different. When you sign eat, don't do it in front of your mouth. Because when babies are learning language, they're looking at your face, especially your mouth. Don't cover your mouth or your face when you're talking to people, because people are watching your facial expressions. There's a lot of information that's nonverbal. In fact, in sign language, here's a sign for happy. Happy. The happiness comes up and out of my body. We do this on one of the play groups that we do. Happy, when we learn feeling signs. You can do with one hand or two hands. Happy. This is not the sign for happy. Unless I'm being sarcastic. Oh, Veronica, I'm so happy you're in my class. Okay. No, Veronica,
Oh, no.
I'm really happy you're here. Okay. But you have to get used to my crazy humor, all right? But I'm really happy you're all here today. So when you sign eat, cheat it down here to your chin. All right. And the shape of my mouth looks different. When I sign food, it looks like this. When I sign eat, it looks like this. Eat and food. Hungry is different. Take the letter C, go right down your chest. Hungry. Just do it once, Danielle. Some of you are doing it over and over again. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to save you from embarrassment. If you go up and down, that's the sign for horny. Okay. It's a different type of hunger. Okay. If you
Not
do this,
good, huh?
let's practice our sign language. And you're doing this, the deaf couple over there is going to say, what are they eating? They're so horny over there. So here's the origin of the sign for horny. It's a passionate hunger. If you're really hungry, use your face. Here's the sign for starved. Facial expressions like happy, hungry, really starved. If you're a little hungry, okay, you kind of go like this, but don't go like this because that means something else. All right, moving along. Let's keep going. Are we having fun yet? Take the letter W. It looks like a letter W, right? We use W when we sign water. Water. We use W when we sign waffles. See all the crisscrosses like the waffles have? I love waffles. We use W when we sign wine. Take the thumb that's holding down my pinky, put it on your cheek, go round and round. That's the sign for wine. Now you can order wine across a noisy bar. The sign for drink. Drink. It's natural. Excellent. I'm watching everybody. This is what's nice about having a live teacher here. When you sign drink with the letter Y, it means drink alcohol. So just use the letter C like this if you're talking about drinking with your baby. All right. When you take the letter Y and miss your mouth, you're signing drunk. Are we having fun yet? All right. The sign for apple. Take your knuckle, put it in your cheek, and twist it like this. Good. When Coco the gorilla in Woodside, California, there's a gorilla farm, and there was a gorilla named Coco that could sign apple and hundreds of other signs. Coco knew sign language. If a gorilla can do this, even you and me with our sleep-deprived parent brains can learn sign language. Everybody sign apple. Good. Now we're going to do something that YouTube can't. Everybody sign, like test you. Everybody sign red apple. Good. Red apple. Or if you're speaking Spanish, la manzana. Or French, pomme. Or Russian, yablichka. The sign is going to be the same, whatever language you're speaking. Everybody sign cheese. It's a cheese grater. If you have a book, they say take your number 5 hands, put the heels of the hands together, rotate the top hand, dominant hand, that's the moving hand, clockwise, counterclockwise, and you're going, oh, this is too complicated. I'm just going to sign more for everything. But if you got a live teacher, I'll teach you the story behind the sign. Dude, it's a cheese grater, grating your cheese over your spaghetti. And what rhymes with cheese? Please. Good. All righty. The sign for potty or toilet. Remember the letter T? Wag it back and forth. Good. And if I teach you potty, I got to teach you poop. Take that thumb, stick it up that hole, and go poop. Every time your baby's pooping, you say poop or poo or whatever you say. Some people say other words that aren't so nice, but poop or poo. Good. And when you're signing, it's your dominant hand that's moving, right? Not the non-dominant hand. My wife poops with her left hand. She's got a left-handed accent. It's really cute. But poop with your dominant hand. Your non-dominant hand, your bottom does not fly off the potty when you're pooping. Your bottom might fly off the potty if you have. All right, cool. Now, the way we pronounce things can mean something else. This is poop. This is diarrhea. This is explosive diarrhea. Even verbally, the way we say words can mean different things. I could say, I love you, 2 different ways, and it means 2 distinctively different things. I love you guys. Thanks for coming to my class. Or I could say, I love you. The same 3 words, but the meaning is completely different. Same thing with sign language. Poop, diarrhea. Promise me when you meet a deaf person, don't say, I learned how to sign diarrhea. What you do is you introduce yourself. You go, hello, I am named, and then finger spell your name. And then he's going to go, nice to meet you. We'll teach you how to introduce yourself to a deaf Uber driver. Don't talk about diarrhea. There's a lot of respect for ASL, American Sign Language. And technically, I'm not teaching you American Sign Language. I'm using ASL vocabulary, but I'm teaching you MCE, which is Manually Coded English. ASL is a beautiful language that has its own sentence structure, syntax, and culture. So we'll talk more about that if you join my classes. All righty, the sign for poop, diarrhea. Okay, what am I signing now? Did my face give it away? Did I mention facial expressions are important in this class? That's rule number 1. You got to use your facial expressions. Constipation, very important. If you don't use your face in my class, I will drop you a grade starting now. There are no grades. Okay. Here we go. The sign for change. Oh, this is a great sign. Take your fist and put it on top of the other fist. Okay. Now rotate around so the other fist is on top. You change positions. So every time you're changing your baby's diaper, you're saying, I'm changing your diaper. Talk to your kids. Create a verbal map. Narrate your life. They're listening. I'm changing your diaper, and sign it. And pretty soon they'll tell you, hello, I need a diaper change. Signing reduces diaper rash because they don't walk around for 10 minutes with a dirty diaper. They just say, hey, it's time to change my diaper. The sign for mother. Take your number 5 thumb. Tap, tap on your chin twice. It's a double tap, tap, tap. And try not to put it in front of your face. Cheat it a little bit so that we can see your face. When you sign daddy, it's a tap, tap on your forehead. This, I can't see your face too much, but here I can see it. Somewhere up here. Daddy, mommy. What if you have 2 mommies? Well, you have to decide what you guys are going to call yourselves. How about, 2 fathers? How about I'm going to be daddy and you're going to be papa? Cool. I'm daddy. Here comes papa. Daddy, and you can go papa. daddy, papa. There's lots of ways, and we can talk more about LGBTQ signs in the program later on. I mean, if you decide to take the program. Cool. So we got mother, papa. Great. So when I'm holding the baby and mom walks in the room, I go, oh, there's mommy. Say it. There's mommy. They're looking. Humans understand what pointing means. Okay. The sign for baby. Baby. That's pretty straightforward. The sign for sleep. Sleep. Or nap. Sleep. The sign for red. Red. The sign for yellow. Yellow. It's the letter Y. When you wiggle it, it means yellow. Take the letter G. When you wiggle it, it means green. If you do, this does not look like the letter G, so just get over it. It's not hard to do. It's like you're holding a little lima bean. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. When you wiggle it, it means green. Green. If you don't wiggle it, it's just the letter G. If you put it on your heart, you're signing guilty. If you take the letter G under your nose, you're signing garlic. Green, yellow, red. That's enough colors for now. All done? I think that's 20 signs. How cool is that? So when you're signing all done, it's some people sign it vertically. Some people sign it horizontally. Some people go like this. Everybody's got their own accent. Finished. And when you sign all done, immediately take their food away from them or whatever's happening. You got to let them know what's happening, whether they're learning sign language or German or Russian. It's all about context. So in my program, I don't just talk about sign language. This is not a wimpy little baby sign language program where we just teach milk and more. This is baby sign language on steroids, where I get you comfortable signing 200, 300, 400 signs without even thinking about it. Okay. So all done. Cool. I want you to learn your alphabet, because so many signs are initials and you already know half the alphabet because it's iconic. The C looks like a C. The O looks like an O. The V looks like a V. The W looks like a W. We use that for water. Remember water? Or wine or weird. You are so weird, Vicky. Okay.
I know.
You know I love you. Oh, this is another way to sign I love you. It's fast, one-handed. I love you. I was going to normally sign it with my right hand, but my right hand was on my mouse. So if your dominant hand is busy, you can switch to your non-dominant hand. It's not going to mess your baby up. All righty. So let's talk about the benefits of signing with your baby. It's the bilingual bridge. I mean, I want to put this first and foremost. How many people are bilingual, raising your children in a bilingual home? A lot of people. So this is the best thing if you're bilingual and the baby's learning 2 different languages. Think about it. You're home with your child. Some people do the OPAL method. OPOL stands for one parent, one language. So you're feeding your baby and you're saying, this is sweet potatoes, this is pureed peas, this is broccoli, this is applesauce. And when you're feeding them, tell them what's going in their mouth. And if you can sign apples for applesauce, I don't care whether it's sliced, diced, or pureed, it's apples, okay? Apple. And pretty soon the baby will sign apple when they want apple. And then your partner comes home speaking a different language, like Spanish. And they go, ah, ¿quieres la manzana? La manzana, which is apple in Spanish. And the baby looks at your partner, and they don't see your partner all the time because they've got a full-time job now. Yeah. That's the sign for applause, by the way, in the deaf community. When you clap at a deaf event, like at the California School of Deaf in Fremont, and you're clapping in the audience, they can't hear you. They're deaf, but they can hear this, okay? So the baby looks at their partner, and they don't see your partner all the time, and your partner's going, la manzana, and they go, llama, what? But your partner is doing this, la manzana. And the baby goes, oh, now you're talking my language. You see how it's the bridge between your 2 languages. Whatever language you're speaking, the sign is going to be the same in your house, even though in different countries, they have different ways to sign things. But let's standardize it. Whether you're speaking Russian, yablichka, whether you're speaking Spanish, la manzana, pingua in Mandarin, tao in Vietnamese. I know how to say apple in about 47 languages. Okay. It enhances your child's self-esteem. Think about this, you guys. The baby's in your arms, they start to cry. Why are you crying tonight? You normally go to sleep pretty easy, but what's going on tonight? Without signing, they can't tell you what's wrong. Okay, this is your baby 4, 5, 6, 7 months from now, and they hear you say it's time for bed, and they know what that means because every time you put them in the bed, you say, this is your bed, this is your crib. Say it and sign it. This is your bed. It's time to sleep. Okay? And this time your baby knows sign language and they know verbal language. They can't speak verbally, but they can sign. And they hear you say it's time for bed. But this night, your baby does this. What's that sign, you guys?
Apple.
Exactly.
Apple.
Apple. And so instead of the stink face from daddy, they get a happy face going, oh, you'd like some applesauce. And the baby signs back. Again, because this baby knows that my father understands me and values what I have to say. They take sign language for granted. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alrighty. Signing lowers frustration. You can see how the frustration could build and build when people don't understand you. It's all trying to get a language that we're all listening and hearing and appreciating what the other person has to say. And that starts when they're really young. By the way, all of this information is in your handbook that we're going to email you pretty soon. Okay. So in the next day or so, you're going to get a little handbook that has a lot of this information. We'll go into it more in detail. And alrighty. So signing develops more brain cell connections. When the baby's learning sign language passively, or when they're learning language passively, they're listening with their ears and you're talking with your mouth. And they're listening and the words go in their ears and get stored in the left side of the brain. That's the auditory center, and gets stored as a word. Okay, it's processing language. When you're signing with your baby, they not only know what the word sounds like, the word looks like this. That goes in their eyeballs back to their visual cortex and gets stored as a word in their visual cortex. And then it gets sent off to the auditory cortex and connects with what the word sounds like. That's an extra connection that your baby's going to be making. And it gets better. When your baby starts signing back to you around 8, 9, 10, 11 months old, they not only know what the word sounds like and looks like, they know what the word feels like. That's kinesthetic information processed in a third part of the brain, the motor cortex. So now we've got the motor cortex, the occipital cortex, the auditory cortex, left hemisphere, right hemisphere, processing language. And language is the way we connect. The more connections you have in your brain, the more language you can process and the more information. Language is the way the brain works. When you're lifting weights, you build more muscle connections, myofibers. And the more fibers you have, the heavier the weight you can lift. So we're just giving your baby an advantage by using different parts of the brain. All right. Signing expands your baby's vocabulary big time. All right. Signing allows babies to lead the conversation about topics that interest them. They start the conversation. Every night at 6 o'clock, my son would go like this. Ding, ding. Because we have a church next door at 6 o'clock, the bell rings. And so he signed the bell, ding, ding. And I go, oh, it's the church bell. And he's going, he's part of the conversation. He started the conversation. How cool is that? We just went over about 15, actually I went over about 17 benefits of signing with your baby. All of these benefits are great. The bilingual bridge, the higher interest in reading, which we'll talk about in the program. But the most important benefit of all is the last one. If you forget all the other ones, I want you to do it for one reason. Sign language greatly increases your bond with your child because language is the way we connect. If you speak Spanish and I don't, and you don't speak English, we can't connect very well. We could flirt at the bar, buy each other a margarita. That's the sign for margarita. Run your fingers around the rim of the glass. Margarita. But we can't really get to know each other very well. But when we speak the same language, it's like a window into your baby's brain. All righty, it's movie time. Let's do this. I want to show you a 2-minute video of little tiny babies signing. There's a baby in this video signing medicine for my teeth. And it looks to be like about a 13-month-old baby. It's amazing. All righty.
Doing good.
All right, Andy, we are finished. Cool.
That was amazing seeing so many kids being able to communicate. I understood what they said. That was cool.
Let's sing a song, you guys. This is going to be easy, and then we'll take some questions, okay?
Well,
And then
let's
we'll
get
put some more-
everybody's cameras on so we can actually see everybody signing.
Now, if you're nursing, if you're feeding your baby, you can swing your camera up like that. All right. And that way we know, like if we ask you a question and I say, does everybody understand? Your head's going, yes. Or you can put your hand up here like that. Yes, that's a sign for yes. Okay. Or no, I have no idea what you're talking about, Bill. I missed that. Show it to me again. More.
And one more time.
All righty. So I'm going to teach you a song. This song's the melody Frere Jacques. It's really easy. I teach you songs that you already know. Why make it hard and sell you CDs? These are songs you already know. They use these songs in preschool. Frere Jacques, everybody knows that melody. They just changed the melody, that changed the lyrics. So here's the sign for walking, walking. All right? Walking. Okay. We're just walking down the street. Walking, walking, walking. Here's the sign for jumping or hopping. Here's the sign for running. Take the letter L's, all right, and move it forward and wiggle it like that. Good. That's how we'll start. And now you're doing so well at that side view. I'm going to have you take your dominant index finger, the tip of it, and glue it to the thumb. Don't let go. And wiggle whatever you can wiggle. Move it. Line it up. That's the weirdest sign I'll ever teach you, I promise. And it's going to be weird the first 5 times you do it. But after 17 times, you'll just do it. All right? Okay, let's stop and sing. It's a karate chop. Stop. You guys ready? That's the letter R. The letter R is a pirate's favorite letter. Are you ready to sing, matey? All right, when you go like this, it means ready. So when you sign ready, start doing something so the baby knows what that abstract concept means, whether you're signing or speaking Russian. Context is everything in language, and we'll talk more about that in the program. Ready? All right. Get your walking hands out here. A 5, 6, 7, 8. Walking, 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 walking. Hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, hop. Running, 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 running. Now we stop. Now we stop.
He did so well.
Cool. Let's do another one. Let's do this song is to the melody Frere Jacques, and it goes like this. Are you eating? Are you eating? Baby of mine, baby of mine. Baby likes to eat. Baby likes to eat. Eat some more. Eat some more. Yeah. All these songs are in your handbook, just the lyrics. All right. And so it underlines the signs that you're gonna, the words that you're gonna sign, okay? Like eat. Let's do one more. I think we have time, okay? This song, this is a different song. This song is to the melody Frere Jacques. And it goes like this. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Baby of mine. Baby of mine, baby likes to sleep, baby likes to sleep, sleep some more, sleep some more. Por favor, please, so mommy can sleep. Use your signs, you guys. Your homework is to practice sign language 1 minute a day, at least. Okay. How are the questions coming?
Well, let's see. One of the questions we had was how many words can they actually learn in sign language before they stop? Will they stop signing?
Will they stop?
What
No,
happened with your kids?
yeah, that's a loaded question. They will not stop. The more signs you give them, the more they'll use. Now, I had some kids sign a lot. Some kids don't sign very much. At Kaiser Permanente in Redwood City, I had these two little boys, twin 14-month-old boys. One was up to 90 signs. His twin brother, identical twin, signed 3 signs.
The important ones.
Yeah, like milk, and I think he signed hat and cat. Yeah, what's important?
I understand.
Time
Exactly.
Magazine called us up and said, we want to feature your book in Time Magazine. What's the 5 most important words to give a child? Yeah, well, milk and more, but cat's important, cow's important, book's important. Where do you stop? Don't stop. Give them a lot. They may only use a few. And I saw those same boys a year later. One was really talkative, chatting, talking all the time. His brother was quiet. He knew the same amount of words, but he was more of a listener. Even though they're identical twins, they have different personalities. So some kids are going to sign a lot. Some kids are not going to sign a lot. But definitely do it. It's all going in there.
Well, I wanted to let everybody have an opportunity. If you have a question, please unmute and let's hear what questions you have.
And I've got another song we can sing. Why don't we sing another song where we're waiting for some more questions? If you have a question, throw it into the thing. This song, the chat section. Thank you. The thing. This song is a different song. This song's to the melody. No, it's the other melody, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Okay, I see.
They have two melodies they sing in preschool, Frere Jacques and Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which they use for a lot of things like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, ba, ba, black sheep, heavy wool, twinkle, twinkle, traffic light, shining on the corner bright. If you don't know that, you're going to learn it from Teacher Bill right now. You ready? Here's the sign for overhead light. Okay. Now there's different types of light. There's an overhead light. There might be a desk light on the table, on the changing table. Okay. There might be a desk light. There might be a flashlight. And if you turn the light on over their head, say the light is off. Talk to your child and then turn the light on and say the light is on. Say the phrase, the light is off. They're learning the phrase, the light is off. And a traffic light is really bright. Here's the sign for bright. Open up your eyes really wide. All right, ready? The letter R, ready? Okay. The letter K is easy to do. The letter V looks like that. Put your thumb up there between the fingers there, and that's the letter K. You ready? Okay. It goes, twinkle, twinkle, traffic light, shining on the corner bright. Red means stop. Green means go. Yellow means take it slow. Ooh, there's a new sign. It goes right up your forearm. Slow. And what rhymes with slow? Go. Mm-hmm.
Daniel asked if they use different signs in different countries.
Absolutely. Yes, they do. There's sign language. It's not one universal sign language all around the world. American Sign Language came from Paris, France, 200 years ago. And this guy sailed across the Atlantic Ocean and started a school for the deaf in Hartford, Connecticut. And it spread across the United States and into English-speaking Canada. In England, where they speak English, they don't sign American Sign Language. They sign a British Sign Language, BSL.
Different, very different.
It's very different. Yep.
But I like the fact that when we have even multilingual families, that just as long as you decide what signs you're going to use, even made up ones, it'll work for the child.
Yep. If you don't know a sign, make it up. 9 times out of 10, you'll be right. You know, the deaf police are not going to come after you. But if you're not sure, just email me and say, how do you sign strawberries, or how do you sign whatever? And I'll tell you how to do it. Yeah.
Well, do we have any other questions? So for someone living in Mexico, the American Sign Language will work well? Yeah, right? Perfect.
Yeah. In fact, I've trained teachers that have taught with me and then they moved to Mexico and they're using American Sign Language. Even though there's different variations in Mexico, the baby doesn't care whether you're using German Sign Language, Mexican, Spanish, French Sign Language. Just give me something that gets me what I want. That's what they're programmed to do. And language signs are going to get you there. Yeah,
When I was
beautiful.
signing with my kids, we had the Barbie doll. I did Barbie baby because that's how they did it, even though it's not really a sign at all. So if I missed it, where do we get more information? We're going to be sending out an email. That's a great question. After the thing, you'll get a recording of the video that we've done here, as well as the handbook, which will cover the signs that we've done and more, and some information about Learning Home Volunteers and Happy Baby Signs, which is where Bill works.
I've got some extra homework for you. In the meantime, try and learn how to fingerspell your name. Learn some letters. We'll be using it. If you decide to take my program, one of my rules are when you have a question, don't think it, ink it, write it down, bring it to class. Because otherwise I'm going to see you every Saturday morning and you go, I have 5 vocabulary questions. And I can't remember any of them because I'm sleep deprived.
That's really tired. Well, thank you all for attending. If we have no more questions, I'm going to let you go back to maybe a nap. Ooh, I'm sorry, Shirley, you got a question? No, you're okay. All right, good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to drop some links into Happy Baby Sign and for ourselves. And we'll be sending out an email in the next couple of days. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Bill, for helping us.
And thank you, Victoria.